Welcome to the Arsenal show. We are live, and it's the pre-match preview stroke lineup prediction of the Arsenal versus Brighton game. Big win last week against Tottenham Hotspur, but that game is over, and Arsenal now need to show what they're about and whether they can carry on this momentum. 3 games on the trot, or we can say 4, including the West Brom game. So this is going to be a tough one. Brighton have had a great start to the season, and this is a very good game to show what Arsenal are about. They've struggled in the past against Brighton. They're a very good footballing team under Graham Potter. So it'd be interesting to see how Arsenal get on tomorrow evening at 5:30. I am joined today by my co-host Steve K. How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, how you doing, Kieron? Good afternoon, everybody out there. Thanks for viewing in today.
And I'm also joined by my other co-host, Jerome Marks. How you doing, Jerome?
Good afternoon. Good. All good, thank you.
So we'll start with you, Jerome. How are you feeling about the Brighton game?
Oh, optimistic.
Yeah?
Kieron. Cautiously optimistic. I think that's the expression. You know, off of the back of an amazing performance, especially the first half. Uh-huh. And so, bearing that in mind, very much looking forward to this game and just hoping that they can continue where they left off, really.
Yeah. So, Steve, how are you feeling about this game? Nervous? Do you feel like this is a perfect game after the Tottenham game to show what Arsenal are about, to show that it wasn't just a flash in the pan win over their North London rivals? Yeah,
in a way. But I think any game after this the way we performed against Tottenham, we would be saying the same thing, because it is important to carry on from, as Jerome just said, the fantastic performance that the boys put in against Tottenham. So yes, it is, the perfect game. But then again, you could say that about, anybody that they was playing, because as I say, it's important. It's important that they carry on, and there's going to be a lot of disappointed Arsenal fans, if we get beat by Brighton, and people will assume that we've gone back to square one again.
Yeah, and we definitely don't want that. Obviously, team news is out, and Granit Xhaka, as we know, has got a long-term knee injury, so he will be out for the next 2 to 3 months. So it's probably looking, with getting back to match fitness, probably in and around or after Christmas for him, which is a shame for Arsenal because he had a really good game against Tottenham. And other than that, it looks like Arsenal have got a full-strength squad to go into this game against Brighton. So let's start with Steve. Steve, what do you think the predicted lineup will be for this game against Brighton?
I think that he'll bring in El Neni or Lokonga, but we'll get to that midfield. I think the rest of it should be pretty straightforward for him. I hope it's straightforward for him. I mean, after that Tottenham game, it doesn't need many changes. So I'll be surprised if there is. So my predicted lineup would obviously be Ramsdale in goal. He'll just continue his fantastic form since he's come to the club. Again, right back Tomiyasu with Ben White and Gabriel and Tierney at the back. If I just go to up front, I would be playing Aubameyang down the middle with Saka on the right, and I would be playing Pepe on the left. So that might give you a little bit of an idea of what my midfield's gonna be, which would be Martin Odegaard sitting next to Thomas Partey, with Emile Smith-Rowe playing in front.
All right.
But you said predicted, so I went a little bit on what I.
You went a bit left field there.
I did there, didn't I?
You jumped the gun, Steve.
But yeah, I did. but yeah, predicted. I think he will bring in Lokonga, and he will play instead of Odegaard there.
Okay. Yeah. Jerome, give us your predicted lineup for the game. You're on mute.
Sorry, I think he'll go with the same team that played against Spurs, and he'll just swap Lokonga for Xhaka.
And is that what you'd go for?
Yeah, I do like the sound of Steve's team with Odegaard and Smith Rowe sort of playing closer to Partey. But I'm not sure. I think just for a bit of security, perhaps to put Lokonga next to Partey.
You feel that the Brighton's team because they're not the Brighton of old, and I mean the Brighton of old were rigid, like compact, not the easiest teams to break down on a good day. This team's a bit more free flowing and open, but you can get caught off guard by this team if you don't take them seriously. So is that your reason why you might keep it shored up a little bit more? Yeah,
exactly. Like they're a very good footballing team. They're tactically. I mean, Potter is destined to move to a bigger club eventually, isn't he? I think he's really well thought of in terms of a coach, in terms of a manager.
Yeah, I know. Even down the road, Tottenham fans were already calling for Graham Potter to take over from Nuno Espirito Santo there, but a bit too early for that one. But yeah, no, he's a very highly regarded manager. You've seen what he did with Osterstad.
That's it, Ostersund's
in minnows, getting them into the knockout stages of the Europa League, even getting a win against Arsenal. So yeah, it's a tough one. Danger men for Brighton.
Well, there's a centre forward that is obviously the one that injured Leno, Molpe.
Yeah, Neil.
So, and I think that Brighton put out a tweet. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh,
Molpe doing that. Yeah. So they're already trying to wind up our players. Yeah. And more importantly, or not more importantly, but more so the fans.
Yes. But Steve, do you think that'll work? Do you think we've moved on? We're not. I don't feel like we're the same team that had a Guendouzi getting sent off, looking for. I don't know. I feel like we've matured a bit since then.
Yeah, there's not many players now. You look at, can lose their head. I mean, I always like one player who's a bit nasty in our side. I think every player needs it because I think it makes you weak in the midfield. And going, if I went back over the top sides over the last 10 years who won the title, you'd always find that nasty player. But you're right. We're not that type of team who will get wound up. They're young. A lot of them, it's a very young side that we have, and they've got good heads on them. Thomas Partey, he's not someone who you would call someone who would react to bad challenges or lose his rag. We've got, it's all right having one person that does that, but you don't want to hold two or three of them that does that. And luckily, Thomas Partey does his speaking with his feet. Different type of midfield player. But yeah, you're right. There's not that any players, and that's good for Arsenal. And I mean, we see against Burnley. They had a number of players, and they was kicking Arsenal's youngsters all over the place for at least the first half, and then I think through the second half they decided that it wasn't going to work, and Arsenal just played around them in the end, and they never got to them at all. So Burnley are probably one of the most toughest sides to play against, and that's probably why I said that play Odegaard, because we played that side against Burnley with the one. So I'm feeling that if we play that way against Burnley, as tough as hard as they are away,
I've still got enough steel in the midfield
I still feel that we've got enough. The fullbacks can always drop in. if they're disciplined enough to help out. And and if they played with the same discipline as they did against Burnley, then I don't think that'd be a problem.
All right. So let's get on to the score predictions. Steve, give us your score prediction for the game.
Yeah, I think we're going to win this.
Okay.
I really think we're going to win this. I think we're picking up a nice little run of games now. I think we seem to be getting better each game, which is good. So I think we'll win this. I don't think we'll smash Brighton. I don't think it'll be an easy win. I think it'll be a tight game. But I still think that we'll come away. I think we'll come away with a 1-0 win. And I'll be, over the moon with a clean sheet and a 1-0 win. So
you'll take that. You'll take that all day long. 1-0 to Arsenal.
I'll take that. And this is the time Aubameyang, starts hitting form for the rest of the season, and he's going to get it.
And you're saying Aubameyang's going to be the goal scorer, then, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Steve's got Aubameyang as his goal scorer and a 1-0 win for Arsenal. Jerome, what's your score prediction?
Gosh, I think we'll win 2-0. It's amazing how quick things change, because asking us for our predictions a few weeks ago would have been totally different.
Yeah.
But as long as he keeps, pretty much the same team, I mean, the defence just looks superb, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if you saw Gabriel's interview on Sky Sports about, and Steve, you'll be happy with this one, about, he says how we want to be very intense and aggressive defensively. It's very important to have that battling spirit. So you deserve to win. Yeah. And you leave everything out on the pitch. So
absolutely.
Battling for duels, this is what you want. And it seems like the defence is building up their own little team within the team, which I like the sound of.
Yeah.
Really liking the look of our defence at the moment. So I think we'll keep a clean sheet.
Right.
Quite optimistic.
It's blending nicely. Nicely.
And who have you got as your goal scorer?
I think Saka will get another goal.
Okay.
I think he'll start with Aubameyang up front, and I fancy him to get another one as well. So Saka and Aubameyang.
Saka and Aubameyang. You've got a 2-0 win for Jerome and a 1-0 win for Steve. Okay, Steve, who's your key man and why?
Key man. If they play the system that I want them to play, so I'm going to go pretty much by that. I'm going to go to key man being Martin Odegaard.
Okay.
I don't see that there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be one of them games when there's going to be many chances. I think it's going to be one of them games where it might just take that through ball or that little bit of special bit of skill to open them up to either speed to have the final result as being 1-0 or like Jerome said 2-0. So I think it's going to take someone like a Martin Odegaard to do something special, play them balls through to Aubameyang or even to Saka. He could be the key tomorrow. So yeah, for me, I'll be looking at him to have a good game, and then I think if he does, I think we'd be quite comfortable.
All right. Before we go to you, please, if you're watching live, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that share button, and if you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube on KS1 TV and hit the subscribe button and the like button as well. We've got a couple of people hitting us up in the comment section, so we'll come to you afterwards, guys. But before that, we want to hear who Jerome's key man is going to be. Steve has picked Martin Odegaard. Who have you got?
Well, it could defensively, it could have been, obviously, as Garth has said, Ben White's going back to his old club. So that'll be interesting to see how he performs tomorrow. But I think the difference maker for Arsenal, he doesn't even have to have a great game, but I think he could make the difference, and that is Saka. I think last season it was his run that set up Lacazette. He'd done an amazing run on the right-hand side, cut the ball back for Lacazette to score, and it was pretty much a nothing game. Nothing much was happening until he went on this amazing run. And it's these little moments from Saka that I think can make the difference in these type of games, like Steve said, like in these tight games where maybe there's not so many chances. A little bit of improvisation, beating a man, dropping a shoulder, and Saka that seems to be what he's great at. And so I'm hoping that he'll be the key man tomorrow.
I think you're spot on with the improvisation, and I'm seeing him do it more. I said the other day after the preview what I saw more recently, but definitely in that Tottenham game, Saka drop a couple of skills, and if he continues that, and I feel like he would have done them skills if he was playing under 23s, and maybe he simplified his game to come up, and now he's starting to get more in his own skin, feeling a bit more comfortable. It was like a step over going that way, and then he just rolled over his foot, and the momentum hit the foot the other way. He just dropped two defenders completely gone from a rollover and just the outside the boot gone. And that's what I want to see more of Saka. And if he's got to add that to his game, this kid is going to be an absolute superstar.
And not just Saka, but just for the whole team as well. General, I mean, we haven't really spoken about this because it hasn't been like an issue at all. Like, it hasn't been spoken about, but their confidence must be amazing now, the team. They must be playing like, obviously they've got certain tactically they've got certain roles they need to fulfill, but hopefully you'll see them play with a bit more like maybe freedom in certain ways because of the confidence that they feel. That it must be the best they felt for ages, this Arsenal team, especially off the back of a result and a performance like last week.
Yeah, definitely, completely agree. All right. Let's see what the comment section is saying. Okay, we've got Johnny in there. 2-1 to Arsenal. Oh, sorry, let's put it up. 2-1 to Arsenal if we don't allow ourselves to be bullied, which I still feel like we can be at this moment. I don't think they can get bullied defensively. Maybe with Granit Xhaka not being there, it might be in maybe a Lokonga or Odegaard. But then again, I've seen Odegaard. Odegaard would have had that as the kind of player that he is. He'd have had that, like, people try and sort of bully him in games. But he's got a little bit of bite, Odegaard. It reminds me a bit like Dennis Bergkamp, where he's got all that guile and gliding around the pitch, but they've also got that bit of nastiness in him. She might not see overtly, but when it needs to be, he's got it. He will press players. He will try and get the nicks in. And so I'm not too worried about. I can't see many people out there bullying Gabriel, and especially now that they've got this togetherness and they're trying to build something together. More quotes that came out of sorry to bore you with quotes that came out of this interview, but it was very impressive. They said they need to start they're starting to treat clean sheets, blocks and tackles like they've scored a goal. They said because we're not going to score goals, so this is our goal. That is what I want. I want them to put a tackle in and be like, "Come on!" And that's that. When the defense have got a togetherness like that, they build something. They build their own little team within a team. You've got Ramsdale who will sort of egg that on every time someone puts in a tackle or puts a block in. Ramsdale's there first to congratulate him, saying, "Well done, come on, keep it up." Yeah, and I can't see our defense getting bullied. Tomiyasu's not getting bullied, and I feel like they would protect each other as well. Kieron Tierney's not getting bullied, so it would only be one of the ones more up the top, and I feel like we're building something where no one's going to let that happen.
I do get where Johnny's coming from a little bit, because we're still, we're rolling and everything looks great and we're hearing great things, we're hearing good quotes, but I think we all want to see at least another 3-4 games before we start getting megally carried away and excited for the season. And I think you worried that we're going to be bullied. I get it a little bit. I mean, we can go back to the days when the Invincibles, for instance, of the 2004. I mean, Vieira used to play next to Petit and players like that, and Ray Parlour. I mean, these are players who would never get bullied. But who would get bullied was your Perez's and your left backs and your right back. But I mean, we all know from in the famous tunnel scene at Manchester United, where someone said something to Perez, or someone said something to, and King reacted, and then Vieira acted back. And then if someone was to evict Perez in the game, then Vieira would have gone over and then he would have. So there are players, but as you just said there, with Tierney, with Tomiyasu, they're not going to get bullied. But I still think players like Saka and Smith Rowe and possibly Odegaard, I still think they need protecting, and they've just got to keep their heads. But I think they will, because for what we've seen and we've grown up with Saka and Odegaard, and they've got good heads on them. So, yeah, I do get the point.
Yeah. And Garth says, I noticed that nobody is laughing at Ben White's sign anymore. Kid is starting to prove himself already. He was
laughing. I was laughing.
There's quite a few people out there talking about 50 million is a joke, but I don't think people took into context the fact that Arsenal had to spend that money to get a player that the club didn't want to sell. And if they wanted to stop buying the players that weren't quite there, or the ones that fill in the gap, then it's not progression. And they had to make these signings. Do you gents think that in any chance of Saka leaving? I've seen rumours recently clubs are sniffing around. Clubs are always sniffing around.
He's not going Manchester United, Garth. Right? Just forget it. He's not coming there, but
yeah, you know it. The rumour that I think you might be talking about is the Juventus rumour. Well, Juventus ain't got no money, and Arsenal selling Saka for 40 million is the biggest pile of horse manure I've heard since forever. 40 million for Saka, no. And to Juventus, no. Juventus spent 3 months of the summer trying to get one of the best midfielders of the European Championships for under 40 million. 40 million euros, and then they had to get him on a loan, didn't they, with an obligation to buy. This club has got no money. No. So when you hear about Juventus trying to sign players for a certain amount of money, ain't happening. Unless they're going to try and swap Dybala for him, but we don't.
And they're 10th. They're 10th in the league. Juventus at the moment.
10th in the league. Not happening.
Yeah, as you said, they've got Dybala. They've got they're struggling to give him a new contract at the moment. So no, just forget it. It's not happening.
There we go. What's Glenn saying? Saka and Emil Smith Rowe won't leave before winning the Premier League with Arsenal or a European trophy. Well, hopefully. It's one and not the other. I don't know how to answer this question. Mate, it's going to say we don't need him. Poor kid will sit on the bench. We've only got a short jar plays with Fred on the wings. Yeah, it's true. Buy a game. Diallo can't buy a game. They don't need Saka. They've got enough. All right, people. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you very much for joining us, Steve.
Cheers, mate. Yep, lovely.
All right, and thank you very much for joining us, Jerome.
Yeah, of course. No probs.
All right. Please make sure you join us for the post-match reaction of the Brighton game. There could potentially be...
There could be a surprise.
There could be a surprise. You could have a friend to watch the game with, but we will update you as soon as possible on that. All right? So, thank you very much for joining us, people. Peace out. Stay safe. And wash your hands.